Hello again, my name is John, and I am a nobody. We are off to the Trompeter Club in Berlin for this one. It's a kind of continuation of the last story, which saw us at the departure lounge at Moscow airport. So one day I got a telephone call from Nicky Sutton asking me if I'd like to come down for a pizza at his favorite pizza restaurant in Berlin. Excuse me. So I went over and he explained what it was all about. He'd invited the lady that we'd met at the departure lounge in Moscow airport, the Australian filmmaker, to come down to Die Trompeter, the trumpet, which is a famous club in Berlin, much frequented by actors and actresses. The thing was, she had a distant relative coming down to visit her, and this particular lady didn't speak any English, so Nicky had to have an English speaker with him, and that was a German speaker, and that was moi, which is French. So I went down to the Trompeter Club. I played there twice before, once with the first version of the Motown Lovers and the second time with Nicky. And it was run by Ben Becker, who was a famous actor in Germany. And he had a wonderful voice, a very deep voice. It was sort of like listening to Burton, talking about or narrating Under Milk Wood. It was a wonderful voice he had. And he seemed a nice guy. I met him once. So we turned up at the club. They had a long bar, and there were actors and actresses sitting at the bar, many of them attractive young women. And we sat at the back at a table, and then this rather strange chap arrived at the club. He was a black guy, and he started kissing all the women at the bar, even if they were with or in the company of a man. He tried to snog them, we say in English, snog, which is like the full kiss, sometimes with the tongue. He worked his way along the bar, and I watched him. I thought it was strange behavior. And then he got to our table. By this time, Nicky had fallen asleep, and so he saw two women and two guys, one of whom was asleep, and thought, well, this looks good. He immediately approached the Australian filmmaker and started snogging her, kissing her, also with the tongue. And her relative looked absolutely disgusted by her behavior. We took a taxi home. I don't remember what happened to the distant relative. I think she might have disappeared at one stage. And we were driving back to the Australian filmmaker's flat, and Nicky had fallen asleep again. And then she turned to me and said, "John, would you like to come upstairs with me?" Well, I politely declined. But it was a bizarre experience. And what happened was after Nicky's sad demise, I was asked to put together a record, which I did. And that strange experience ended up as a print, which I did, and ended up actually as the cover of the album, which was called Playing with Fire. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I know it was brief, but such is life. Okay, you take care of yourself, and there's your love, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, Tschüssikowski. Bye for now.